Keanon, I just want to say thank you, number one, for your actions, number two, for joining us. But I do want to say, at this stage, after what happened, after you've processed it a little bit yourself, after you've been recognized for doing what you did, has it been difficult to move on simply because this is always going to be something that's with you and it probably shouldn't have had to be?
Yeah, I don't know if difficult's the right word, but it has been a challenge. The past couple days have been life-changing for a lot of us in the community, and especially that high school, especially for me. So yeah, it's been challenging in different ways, but I have a good support system. Like I said, good community at the school that has helped me through this.
You're a coach, you've been a part of teams for a long time, and obviously as an educator, that's something that you have to do in terms of putting different squads together and organizing. This might sound odd, but how has this experience, in your opinion, helped you become a better teacher of the life skills that you're already trying to purport on your kids?
Well, I think, when it comes to teaching, when it comes to coaching, it's all about the experiences you have and what you can pass down to that group of kids that you're trying to coach or trying to teach. So this whole experience has given me a lot of life experience in these past 3 days. Whirlwind of events happen. I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky that I was in the position that I was in, and I was able to help those kids.
Keanon, I don't want to dig too far deep into this, but I do want to ask you, kids now grow up in an era in which school shootings are quite frankly the norm. That is not the era I grew up in. That is not the era you grew up in. Is that something that still is kind of shocking to you in terms of not just what happened at your school, but how you look at reflexively all the other things that you saw up until that point?
Yeah, it is shocking, but it's it's a difficult subject. I think we have a problem. I know we have a problem in this country when it comes to gun violence. And I think it's all about just protecting that next generation. We have to work as adults to figure out ways that we can keep our kids safe, figure out ways to protect that next generation because they are the future.
What are some of the things that you've done at your school in terms of how the kids have gotten back together and how the sports teams have really remotivated themselves to get back on the field or wherever it may be that they compete?
Well, yesterday was the first day back to school, so we haven't really had a lot of time to move forward, just kind of one day at a time type of deal for our high school and our community.
And the last thing I'll ask you, what have you learned about yourself in this situation? It's one thing to be named a national hero, but then you have to go home, you have to look in the mirror, you have to go to sleep, and you have to be able to live with yourself. What do you think you've learned about Keanon in this hall and all of this?
Well, for me, it's to trust your instincts. I've always trusted my instincts in the decisions that I've made throughout my life. And this one moment, I've been preparing for this moment without me even knowing it. And I trusted my instincts. I reacted. I didn't overthink stuff. And, I put myself in harm's way without me even really thinking or knowing it. So just trusting my instincts, trusting myself, and continue to support and love these kids.